Well, hey there, everybody. As you can see, it's a bit of a snowy day out today, so I thought I'd stay in the shop and see if I could get some done. And I decided what I want to do today is maybe make a stand for this Bud Olson sign, because as you can tell, it's still hanging on the hoist up there, and it's because it's so long and tall. And also the bottom is rusted out. It doesn't sit with securely, so I decided to build a stand. And well, it needed to be mobile because I have the mechanic pit here, and the old Jeepasaurus is long overdue for an oil change. So I checked the pile of scrap 2x4 I have outside, but I couldn't really find any that I wanted that were long enough, so I went and got some new ones and then a dolly, and we'll see what we can cobble together to make old Bud Olson a mobile sign. The first thing I need to do is to remove this last remaining original tube to avoid any incidents of accidental breakage. With that unit out of harm's way, we can start construction of the stand. Alright, I've been thinking about it for a bit, kind of seeing what configuration I want, orientation of the dolly, how I might support the body of the sign, because the inside, as mentioned, is pretty roached out. You can see there's rust holes and stuff all over, so it's not much support there. This thing is alright there on the front, but the back is well, all the weight's on it, so it's not moving, but the back is compromised. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is support the weight on these upper brackets. Kind of build something sort of like that, except more load bearing, so the load comes down and rests on the boards, and then the boards transfer the weight to the dolly on the bottom. I think I'm going to do some little buttressing to come out, keep it from tipping forward and backwards. The center of gravity is a little hard to determine, but the sign itself is pretty uniform throughout, minus the bull noses on the top, which are hollow, so they're not very heavy. But the largest concentration of weight, I think, is at the bottom where the transformer sits, and I think that was what, a 12,000. So it's probably maybe like 8 to 10 kilograms, of 15 to 22 pounds or something like that. So I have a feeling that'll keep the center of gravity a little lower, and we'll see what we can throw together here. All right, and I got this dolly kind of augmented here, so the furthest it will tip is there, and then the wheels are spaced even further out on that side, on the opposing side, so it would have to tip even further to go the other way. So I guess we'll kind of put the sign on it and see what we can do about fitting these up to it. Alright, and here we are with the completed stand. I have these screws up here loose, so I can actually tighten them down to kind of keep it under tension. Since that it's kind of soft down there, but hopefully that'll keep it secure onto the, all the weight pushing downward onto the supports. So I'm gonna try to do like a tip test. I'm gonna loosen the chain up here, give it a lot of slack, and then see if I can actually, tip it one way or the other. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead and put that mud tube back on there. The way I made it, it's pretty easy. I just take 8 screws, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I'll just lift that one section out, put the tube back on, and replace it. So to reattach the tube, I connect the electrode wires to the housing pigtails, center the tube on the glass tube stands, then twist on copper tie wires to secure the tube in place. Yay! So glad I didn't break that vintage tube. I don't think I'd ever forgive myself. It's a beautiful tube. In case anybody's wondering, this tube right here is just some scrap I threw together, pumped down with argon to add some visual interest to the bottom, and also some load onto that transformer, since, you know, it's supposed to have a lot more footage on there. So all right, the hoist is off, so it's standing alone on the platform that we built, and I can just roll it around and see how it works. I like it. Having blade signs like this stored horizontally just isn't really much of a economical use of space, so we have much smaller footprint now. But all right, snowy day, project accomplished. Now I can change my oil. All right, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more neon related videos. We'll see you next time.